All right, welcome back to the Riz Show. Our phone number, 314-969-DUDE, 314-969-3833. Social medias, at RIZZ Show, the webcams in the chat room, 1057thepoint.com/Riz. And Mr. Josh Wolf is here.
What's up? What's up?
It's been a couple years since you've been.
I think it has been a couple years. I'm going to move over so I can actually.
Hey.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Yeah, it's been a couple years. And then somebody yesterday on Twitter was like, I hope you come on the show. And I was thinking, I never want to be presumptuous. I was like, nah, I think we had a good time. Like,
we had a great time.
I hope we come on.
Have I not said I like Josh Wolf, and I hope he comes back, and here you are.
And here we are.
You were one of our listeners' favorites. Well, our favorites, of course, our top favorite. But one of our listeners' favorites, because we had like an interview series, whatever, and yours was probably like top 3 requested to hear again.
That's awesome. Now, was your hair blonde? Was that top 3 requested too, or was that down further on the list?
That was against the grain.
Yeah.
Don't ask if he lost a bet, because it's very offensive.
Yeah.
Hey, shut up, guys.
I was going to say, is that on purpose? Is that the same thing?
That's very offensive.
Hey, by the way, it's really nice of you to show up on time this time.
Was I late last time?
Yeah, but we made a big joke about it. You told a whole story about it. You don't remember this?
I don't know if you know.
I don't remember the last time I was late.
He goes to many morning shows.
Yeah. What was my why? What was the lie again?
No, you showed up and we're like, it's nice of you to show up on time. And you're like, dude, I don't normally get up at 7 a.m. or whatever. And some gal called me and I was like, yeah, apparently I was supposed to be up. I don't know. And then you told a whole story about how you weren't exactly sure where you were.
Yes.
So you figured it'd probably be smarter just to go back to bed.
Yeah. I have to tell you, as a default, going back to sleep, I think is always a great reset button. Because then when you wake up, you can be like, what's it like now? What happened now? I know I was asleep, it wasn't great, but I'm awake now. Yeah. Not quite as good, yeah.
Not when you have this job. That's a terrible idea.
Now, the first thing I asked you when I walked in, because I'm super curious about, is what you thought about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame list.
Did you mention, or do you have that list of who was nominated?
Yeah, I can tell you.
And now, one of the people on the list, I will tell you, is Rage. And I don't know if Rage gets in, but I think if Rage toured again, there isn't a ticket price they could name that I wouldn't pay to see that.
I agree with that.
I've seen Rage a bunch of times.
Is that right? I've never seen Rage.
Oh, yeah, they're excellent.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I've seen them once.
Worth the ticket price?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I said the same thing about the Police, and then when they toured 10 years ago, whatever it was, I bought 4 tickets. It was fantastic. Same thing with Rage. I do the same thing.
Yeah, I said not so much the same thing with the Police, just because I don't ever want to take mushrooms and go to a Police concert. Do you know what I mean? That's why I've just got some mushrooms in the freezer, just waiting for Rage.
Have you ever taken mushrooms and gone to a concert?
Yeah.
What was a highlight?
Okay, so
because I did once. I did that once.
Okay,
settle in.
Tasting blue and seeing sound.
It was last year. You remember they put on Old Cello last year?
Yes.
Year, right?
That was McCartney and the Rolling Stones.
The Who, the Stones, Roger Waters, Neil Young, Bob Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Bob Dylan, you ever seen him?
No.
He should retire right now.
I have no desire.
The worst. Listen, I'm going to go on the radio and say it. The single most overrated musician and artist of his time.
Do I not say that?
You do.
And Josh, let me tell you this.
He's a great speaker.
As a lyricist, top notch.
Ooh, you might have just broke his heart.
Because I always said Tom Petty, and I've said this for many, many years, America's greatest songwriter.
Yes. Better than Springsteen.
We may have had this conversation before.
No, I don't think there's any. Although I will say, I think Springsteen's greatest song is better than Petty's greatest song. What I do? Like, I put Thunder Road in my top 5 songs ever.
Come on. I mean,
It's
there's so many
good.
great Petty songs.
What's your No. In the catalog of Petty, beats it without a doubt. Petty's been on loop.
I mean, you could put Refugee on, or Won't Back Down. Or
Refugee's so good.
Mary Jane's Last Dance.
Come on, all better than Thunder Road.
Yeah, I'm not a Springsteen guy.
Do you know what's better than Dylan?
Everything.
My fart this morning.
Is it age? Is it age, or
My
is you
fart?
just no? Yes.
Oh yeah. No, it aged. I hold on to it over the night. So I like to let one go in the morning. Just I like to age it.
Bob Dylan wrote a new song. But here's the B-side.
So we're driving into Old Cello with my brothers, and I go, "Hey man," I go, "Guys, I'm taking mushrooms this weekend."
Okay.
And they said, "Which night?" And I said, "Nope." Nobody likes a quitter. We're doing it this weekend, right? And so I thought, well, maybe because I've never seen Bob Dylan, and I don't know how great it'll be to see Bob Dylan on mushrooms, maybe I won't do that. And I should have. It was the worst hour and a half. He didn't play one hit. He didn't.
He's that guy.
He didn't He didn't play one hit. That piece of beef jerky. He was like a human Slim Jim was on stage doing this.
You know who did that recently was Smashing Pumpkins. They
Not
came
one
here
hit?
and didn't play. Didn't they play a weird version of Today, and that was it?
Oh, you talking about back at the Fox?
Yeah,
the one that I saw where
Yeah.
they ended it with like an 18-minute bird whistle, a bird call solo in timpanis.
No.
Dude, it was awesome.
And didn't play,
I didn't
and
pay
play
for
any
it.
hits.
I didn't pay. Somebody gave me a free ticket. So to me, I was like, "Wow, that's like a dick move just to do a dick move." But which I found kind of hilarious and awesome. But people were angry, dude. They were walking out like
angry,
furious.
Oh, I'd be furious.
I heard that the Counting Crows are tour. They tour with Matchbox 20 right now.
Yeah, they were just here a couple of nights
They
ago.
don't play Mr. Jones anymore. Hey, listen. If I walk out of a Counting Crows, it's like going to see. Listen, we saw what's his name? Say he's just a friend.
Biz Markie.
He played that song 3 times. He opened with it. He did a remix in the middle, and then he closed with it.
Europe does the final countdown to open and close their show.
You should. And if you go see Counting Crows and they don't play Mr. Jones, I'm walking out of there like, what did I just see? Are you kidding? The one song I want, and you're going to play your new stuff, Adam Duritz?
So Dylan didn't play, like a Rolling Stone or
nothing.
Blowing in the Wind?
Nothing. He played one song that my brother said is Tangled Up in Blue, but he rearranged it. And I said, why doesn't he rearrange himself off stage? And you know what else? He was the only artist, 90,000 people at this place. He was the only artist. He has a strict no video rule. So, all the other artists had video. There's huge screens up so people could watch it. Dylan, strict no video rule, so all you saw was black and white stock footage of ducks and geese.
And garbage.
Yeah, now listen, I think he doesn't. He has a no video rule because he doesn't show up on film because he's dead. Like,
I was just gonna say, if you were him, would you have a no video rule too?
No, I would have a no playing rule. I would have a let's just keep my heart beating rule.
How are the mushrooms?
Oh my God, the mushrooms were amazing, and I'm gonna tell this story on stage, but let me just give you a little taste of it. At one point,
just a tiny taste,
a little
just a cap.
At one point during my heavy peak, there was a dude, and listen, this was 90,000 people, so 60,000 of them were over the age of 55 because that was their generation. And when a lot of old white dudes get together, they don't wear shirts. So there was one bigger dude.
It's a rule.
It is. It was one bigger dude around 280, 90 pounds who was running up to people, shaking his belly in people's faces. And I saw him, but I was kind of tripping, and I couldn't figure out why. And I'm going to leave the story at this. He runs up to me, and he shakes his belly in my face, and he said something to me. The dude shook me to my core. He goes, hey, and he shakes his belly at me. Huge dude. He goes, how many knuckles deep you think you can go in my belly button?
Ooh,
and I
boy.
went, what? I went, what? Say that again to me. And he goes, how many knuckles deep? And I was like, none, dude. Like 0 knuckles deep. Like none knuckles. And he said, why not? I go, what do you mean? What do you mean, why not? And he said, everybody's doing it. And I said, who's doing it? And he said, everybody. And I'm sitting there, and
What was he on?
I'm not sure. But I think he was high on life. And he goes, and I'm sitting there, and I'm high, and I'm looking around, and everybody's having a good time. And I didn't want to be the only dude who didn't, stick his finger in this dude's belly button. So I was like, yeah, man.
So did you lick your finger first?
Okay, so I go to lube up my finger, and he goes, you won't need any lube. And I tell the whole story tonight on stage at Helium. It's it's like a 17-minute story about being there and tripping on mushrooms, and that's
the only way to do Oldchella.
Oh,
on mushrooms.
It was amazing. Now, the just because this was 55 or 60,000 people who don't get out much, and were just without inhibition, just killing it.
Recently, I've been to shows like that where you could tell everybody got a babysitter, and you know what? We're doing this tonight.
Yeah. This is one of maybe 2 concerts they go to all year.
Babysitter. Yeah. The kids are all right. We're doing drugs tonight.
Yes.
And we're gonna watch some music.
Yes.
and maybe do a little something in the car later.
And you know what they all do
In the
also?
minivan?
Which is the grossest part? It's the worst part. The best part is it's so cool to see them out with inhibition having a good time. The worst part is they do the really sloppy makeout in public, where the head's moving all over.
Yeah.
And there's you can see a circle of wet from the middle of the forehead down to the bottom of the chin. You're like, what? Why are you licking each other's
tongue
face?
bath?
Yeah.
Obviously they don't do this that much.
No, and you definitely should not be doing it in public.
Yeah. So see Josh, he's got 2 shows tonight, 7:30 and 10 o'clock over at Helium. Tomorrow, 2 shows, and then Sunday you got a 7:30 show. I was telling you, man, I feel like I'm always with you because you on Twitter are a guy that is just an open book.
Yes.
I mean, you are a great follow on Twitter.
I appreciate that, man.
I follow your high walks.
Oh, yeah, those are my favorite.
Yeah, explain what the high walk is.
The high walk is that I get super high.
Uh-huh. And he
then-
walks.
And then I walk. And then I just kind of point out what I've been watching.
Uh-huh.
Now, I move neighborhoods, and my new neighborhood's way nicer, and it's super boring. There's no action. I don't feel like I'm going to die. There's no discarded furniture on the street.
And that's another one of your things. Whenever somebody sees a discarded piece of furniture on the side of the highway, they send a picture to Josh.
That's great.
Yeah, it's so good. But I just never understood the people who are like, I'm done with this couch, put it on the street. Like what? We all live here. You know what I mean? You don't just get to throw your couch out in the middle of the street. What I always surprises me when you see one nice shoe, you're like, that's how drunk you were that you forgot. You forgot. The real weird one, and my buddy who's a comic used to do this joke, but when you see a wheelchair, and it's just a wheelchair by itself.
Where's the person?
Yeah, how drunk you got to be to forget you can't walk? You know what I mean? That's crazy.
Yeah, where's the person?
Could be
that
the
goes
same
along
person with the
wheelchair?
one shoe. You never know.
Yeah, but that, you've been chased by a dog or you run away from police. Not that either of those have happened to me, but that's happened to me before.
This person may be down the road crawling somewhere.
But what made him think, you know what? I'm getting out of the chair. I think this is probably
Today.
better. Yeah.
Today, this is
It's the day I walk.
I'm not going one block farther.
That's you know what? I believe in the power of positive thinking. I'm getting out of the chair. And his friends are like, maybe you
shouldn't.
Maybe I know the positive thinking, we want you, but okay, go ahead. Let's see how it goes. Okay. I'm going to crawl. Good. Okay, John's crawling.
I love the discarded furniture pictures.
Yeah, I was going to say, why don't we wait for you to get out of the chair until we pass a couch on the sidewalk, just in case.
And we'll put you on we'll put you on that.
I love the high walks, and I love, you and your podcast buddy.
Yeah, Freddie.
Mr. Freddie Prinze Jr. How about this? This
Yeah,
guy's
yeah,
got a very famous podcast.
We have an argument online right now. Listen, Freddie's a huge comic book guy. And I'm a comic book guy, but not like Freddie. And Freddie's a big fan of Silver Surfer. And we were talking about the other day on the podcast. And I said, but, he's got no penis. And he was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, Silver Surfer has no penis. He's like, no, he's wearing a suit. I'm like, no. Either he tucks and he puts the lotion in the basket, but that's not a suit.
It's smooth.
It's smooth. And that's fine. He's our first intergalactic pansexual, or however you want to, whatever he identifies as a silver marker, or whatever he wants to do. But he has zero penis. He sent some Instagram videos to me. How dare you? And then yesterday on Twitter, the guy for Marvel, who's the head of marketing, got involved on Twitter. And then
that's the authority, so.
He went to the guy who writes the Silver Surfer comic book. And he tweeted me. He was like, he definitely has a penis. And I just wrote, prove it.
Where?
Yeah, how so?
Prove it. Show it to me in the comic. Show me but zero bulge, smooth. You can't tell me that's a suit.
No,
that's not a suit.
That's not his suit. He's just a live action, slightly different colored Oscar, a statue.
He's got zero
if you
penis.
remember episode 37 when he pulls it out and pees on the tree.
Yeah, so Freddie and I, man, it's a really good time. The podcast is called Prince and the Wolf, and it goes all over the place. But he's such a solid dude and way funnier than I ever expected him to be.
Yeah, it seems like you guys got a good thing going.
Yeah. It's been a whole lot of fun, and it's weird that the things he knows about. He's a great cook. He's had a best-selling cookbook.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, right. I think he's got his purple belt in jiu-jitsu. I believe he was a Gold Glove boxer.
Well, how about his
a
marriage?
lot of colors involved. Silver Surfer, gold,
His
purple.
marriage has lasted.
To Sarah Michelle.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
for eons in Hollywood land.
And super normal people.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah,
who's married to.
super normal people, and both of them kind of out of the business. You know, she's got a food company that is.
Yeah, I want to know. Like, you're over at their house all the time. I see the pictures.
I mean, I don't take pictures from his house, and we go over. I go over there like once a week, and he comes to my place once a week. But it's just like
is that like a normal family?
Normal.
Wow.
100% normal. Freddie is a if you like not a typical what you would think a Hollywood dad. Dude is not. I wouldn't consider him to be strict. I would consider him to be a parent. But I think for LA standards, strict. His kids are super nice, super smart, super polite. Like they're good people.
Do they go to the grocery store?
That I don't know. I don't follow them to the grocery store.
Legit question.
But I'm gonna go ahead. Wouldn't it be crazy if I popped out of the freezer section? You know what we should do on the podcast next week.
Well, you know what?
High walks.
That is a legit question.
I saw this video. I guess Oprah and Ellen did a bit where they went to the grocery store. And they had asked each other, when was the last time you were at a grocery store? And Oprah hadn't been to a grocery store in 2 years. Ellen, 5 years. Like, those people are so famous, they can't go to the grocery store.
Freddie goes every day. Freddie makes his own food for his family. Freddie's a great chef. Freddie goes every day. Freddie goes by. I do know that he goes. I've never gone with him, but I know that he goes to the grocery store.
I love going to the grocery store.
I love it. I like going to the grocery store.
Such a huge fan. And that's a very dangerous thing.
Well, here's the thing. In L.A., the weed is so specific, right? So the grocery store, the local grocery store is called Ralph's. So I go into the weed store, and I'll say, you get some Ralph's weed? And they go, what do you mean? I go, I just need weed that I can smoke and not buy everything at Ralph's. You know what I mean?
Such a thing does not exist.
Yeah, I need to be able to functional Ralph's weed. And they're like, yeah, that's this. But then if I need weed, I'm like, listen, I need weed where I'm not going to know my wife's name. They're like, that's this. So you know what I mean? It's very specific.
Do you have one of those cards you could go to the store?
Oh, yeah.
I went to my first pot shop this weekend. I was in Vegas over the weekend.
And wait.
I was in Vegas this past weekend.
Oh shit!
It was a terrible time to be in Vegas.
Yeah.
I was there on Sunday and we went to the dispensary. It was surreal.
Yeah.
It was a very surreal thing to be in this place with a menu.
Yeah.
Like you want this, you want that, and there's guys behind a counter.
Yeah.
Just any question you may have.
And they know so much.
Oh, my God, so much.
They know more than your drug dealer, Daryl. Do you know what I mean?
Hey, don't crash on Daryl, man. He's been good to all of us, man. Knock it off.
Let me tell you the worst part about going to Daryl's house is that you'd walk in, and Daryl would be on the couch. You'd be like, oh, hey, man, what's up, Daryl? Hey, man, come sit down. As soon as you sit down, you're like, no, I'm going to be here for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because you got to smoke a joint with Daryl.
Daryl's never wearing a shirt
Thank
either.
you.
Yes.
I was just going to say, Daryl's never got a damn shirt on.
Daryl rolls joint with your weed and makes you smoke your weed with Daryl. You're like, Daryl, I'm only buying enough for 2 joints. I got to smoke this one with you, and you don't puff pass. And then one of my drug dealers had this Doberman that would just stare at you. And the Doberman's name was Lady, and Lady would just stare at you and growl. And you'd be like, she's fine. She's just playing. I'm like, is she? Is she really? Is that playing? Because it looks like she would rip my throat out if you weren't here. He's like, oh, she would. I'm like, that's not playing. That's not a game. That's not playing. But Daryl was the worst. And now you don't have Daryl.
I thought the oddest thing was, all right, so we'll take some of these edibles, some of these gummy bears.
Yeah.
Okay? And they put it in a bag for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you go, and where do I put this bag? Do I stick it here?
Yeah.
And no, you could just walk out of the store with it. That's it. I don't have to mule it. No.
Hey.
My prison
Keister
wallet?
it? Yeah.
No.
Prison wallet.
Stick it in your crotch? No.
No, just walk out.
I'm always curious. I have a lot of friends in California with the card.
With that hair, I know you do.
Yeah, right. Again, it was good to see you on time today.
Zing! It's right. He's going to go with the one joke. I'm going to vary mine.
That's okay. What? The hair is one joke. I'm always curious as to what your ailments are to get the cards.
All right. So I had my ailment all planned out when I went in, right? And not only I went into the first time I went in high because, you're supposed to see your doctor with your symptoms. So I was like, I should go in high. So I sit down and I have this whole plan. Well, I hit my head when I was 12. I got a migraine. Whatever. And I look on the wall and there's a poster that says, if you have any of these symptoms, we'll give you your medical marijuana card. I'm like, oh, it's a cheat sheet. That's it. I got this. Yeah. And it's all one word, alphabetical. I'm like, oh, I'll remember that. So I remember it. And I sit down in front of the doctor. And he goes, Mr. Wolf, well, what are your symptoms? You feel like you need a medical marijuana card. And I just blanked. But I remember it was the first word, and I remember it was alphabetical. So I just looked at him. I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm like, autism? And he just shakes his head real slowly at me like this. He's like, And then he goes, no. He goes, you mean anxiety? I go, that's it, anxiety. I got anxiety. I said I'm super anxious. I'm going to get autism someday. So if you don't mind, stop asking me dumb questions. You know I'm here.
Vaginosis.
That's at the bottom. B is for back troubles.
All right, listen, we got to take a break. Josh Wolf is here. All right, welcome back. The guy to my left, you can't see him, but he's there. I promise you. Josh Wolf is here. He is at Helium Comedy Club.
Yeah.
He's got a couple shows tonight, a couple shows tomorrow, show on Sunday. HeliumComedy.com. And it's his return to the Riz Show. I mean, it's been 2 years. Way too long, Josh.
I told you when I left last time, you can call me anytime, man. Call me anytime. By the way, Edge to Edge, that was my nickname in high school.
Hey! By the way, somebody emailed in and said, you want to do shrooms and go to a concert again? Depeche Mode is a great one.
Depeche Mode, nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that,
Look at this
Jeff.
guy. Look at the segue.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yep. All right, so here's the list right here. Bad Brains, Shaka Khan, Chic, Depeche Mode, ELO, Jay Giles Band, Juanes Addiction, Janet Jackson, Joan Baez, Joe Tex, Journey.
This was the list from last year, by the way.
Yeah.
So
What?
Yeah.
this was the list from last year.
Yeah, you need to look at
'cause
this year.
Journey got in.
Yeah,
It says nominees
but
for the induction into the 2017 Hall of
It's
Fame.
going to be 2018.
It's gonna be
But it's
2018.
2017 now.
Yeah, but they already did 20.
crap.
Because
Hang
you missed Bon Jovi, which was at the top of the list.
I
but
got you.
that's-
Hold on just a second. Here you go.
He's
Right,
having
ready?
a senior moment.
You know what? I got it. Relax. Are you ready? I was just
ready.
seeing if you're paying attention.
were.
My
Yeah,
gosh.
Yeah, but
All right, so Bon Jovi,
oh, there you go. Yeah,
Depeche Mode, no, Kate Bush,
Okay.
The Cars, Depeche Mode, Dire Straits, Eurythmics, Jay Giles Band, Judas Priest, LL Cool J, MC5, The Meters, Moody Blues, Radiohead, Rage, Rufus featuring Shaka Khan. Now you see how I was confused.
Yeah.
Nina Simone, Sister Rosetta Tharpe, Link Ray, and the Zombies.
All right, I think
I got mine.
so you got to go 5, right?
Yeah.
Bon Jovi's going to get in.
Are
He
we-
deserves it.
Are we guessing? Are we guessing who we want or who we think?
Who we think.
Ooh,
See, I
Dude,
want
Slippery
to.
One Wet. That's a great record.
great record. And just so you know, I looked up the criteria. So you have to. Your first hit has to have come out at least 25 years ago.
Yeah, it's the same for a
That's
license plate. You got to have the historic plate. 25 years.
So I think Radiohead. No way. It's
Really?
not their year.
Okay.
Well,
Rage.
aren't you supposed to let at least a year go by as far as like the nominees? Like
No,
if it's your
Green
first
Day.
time
Like once you're
nominated.
eligible?
Yeah. No, I think I don't think so. I think if you want them in, you vote for them in. Listen. For me, if you're talking about who I think and who I look, if I think Nina Simone will get in, but that wouldn't be on my. I would go Rage, Rage, and Rage.
Okay, well, that's 3.
Okay.
I'm curious, what do you think of Depeche Mode? Yes or no?
I personally loved Ecstasy, so I say yes to Depeche Mode.
Same here.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah. I mean.
The person who emailed in about doing shrooms and going to Depeche Mode, that was me. Just
Oh
so you
yeah.
know,
I mean, listen. Are you
How
telling
about
me?
Judas Priest, man? Judas Priest,
No.
I think there were.
Not
You don't
before,
think?
not before Eurythmics.
Oh, I think the Eurythmics.
Eurythmics
Yes.
are-
Not
I
not
think for
before
sure.
LL Cool J.
Agreed with that.
And not before Dire Straits.
I don't know about
I
Dire
don't know about Dire
Straits.
Straits.
Yeah, I put Dire Straits on my list. And
You
who
do?
who I think will get in.
You think Dire Straits get in over? I think Eurythmics and Bon Jovi are the locks, and I think they got to throw in a Nina Simone.
I think LL is a
Yeah,
lock
some
as
old
well.
school.
LL was a
Yeah,
lot.
I got to throw it. LL's a lock too. And this, if you haven't heard old LL, if you haven't heard Jingling Baby,
Ooh, yeah.
in that era LL, you're missing out on some prime LL. Are you an LL guy?
Not really.
And what's your wheelhouse besides Petty?
Rage.
Oh no, I'm like a Tool. I like Tool and Pearl Jam and Alice in Chains and Nirvana. I still listen to that stuff.
You know what's
Soundgarden.
interesting? So we were trying to pick our on my podcast with Freddie. We do a Mount Rushmore of things, and we did our Mount Rushmore. If you had to pick 4 bands to listen to forever, and that was the only music you could listen to, what would 4 would they be?
Pearl Jam. Maybe Jane's Addiction for me. Man, there's so many. I can't do it.
See, I tried to pick them so I would have a variety of music, right? So I
Beastie
picked
Boys for rap for me.
the Beatles. I picked Prince over Michael Jackson. I had to pick between Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, and Nirvana because those are my three, and I picked Soundgarden because to me Cornell's voice it's hard. Blow Up the Outside World is the only song that I like to listen to on all 4 drugs that I like. So
That's a really good criteria.
I mean, I like it when I'm high, when I'm
such a-
drunk, mushrooms, and ecstasy.
Yeah.
Pearl Jam's got such a huge catalog of music.
Yes.
I mean, there's so
And
many
their
different
live
types
albums.
of songs.
Yep. Out of those 3, you would pick Pearl Jam?
I think I would.
Really?
Yeah.
They'd be my third.
Ooh,
I think
really?
I go Soundgarden, Nirvana, and
Alice
then
in
Pearl
Chains?
Jam. 4. You go out. I'll go Alice in Chains above Pearl Jam. But Nirvana.
Alice in Chains, I think, above Nirvana for me.
Whoa.
That's
dude.
interesting.
That's huge, especially for a radio guy, because as a radio guy myself, I'm tired of Alice in Chains. When I hear it, I turn it. Yeah, I don't have a single Alice in Chains song in my Spotify, nothing.
Oh yeah, I love
Alice in
it. I connect. That music still makes me.
Oh, there's so many different songs of theirs. So many different types of songs.
The
Yeah, but
the
are-
Beatles aren't on your list.
The Beatles are on the list. I can't come up with 5.
It's you okay?
Don't make me do it.
Rushmore only has 4.
When he does this,
But are-
Josh.
are any-
Mine has 5.
Yeah, that ends that conversation.
Next.
Harvey Weinstein. I don't know if you heard this story about him.
Oh, yeah.
Things are
Oh
not
my
going well.
goodness,
Yeah,
things
yeah.
aren't going well for him. He took a leave of absence from the Weinstein Company and also Miramax as well because he's got a lot of women saying he did a lot of really bad things over about a 30-year period, including Rose McGowan and also Ashley Judd. A huge player in Hollywood, obviously, and this is just the old school casting couch like you were talking about before. Hey, you do this and I'll make you a star.
Yeah, now do you think, I mean, these are pretty lofty allegations.
Yeah.
And he settled with 8 women,
Yeah.
which less women settled with brought down Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there going to be all these actresses who were singing his praises, your Meryl Streeps and your whoever wins an Oscar, going, thank you, Harvey, so much. Are they going to say anything?
I think are they going to say anything to Harvey or
No,
about
I mean,
it?
like come out and saying it's a piece of garbage.
I think it's universally known that he's been a personal piece of garbage.
Then how do some of these actresses go up and say he's the best person ever?
How do
Well,
they-
because-
how do people work for Woody Allen?
That's what I'm saying. Same like Woody Allen or Roman Polanski.
Because they break so many different careers, they're not doing this with everybody.
And
But
also
you only
the
got to do
difference
it with
between
one
Harvey
to be a creep.
and Bill O'Reilly is
OJ
Harvey
only killed 2 people.
Well, that's
That's
what
a
I'm
good
saying.
point.
And there's
That's
plenty of people
really
going,
true.
OJ
Yeah.
never killed me, so I'm fine with him.
And Harvey's apologizing and doing rehab and taking time off and blah blah blah. Bill O'Reilly's just like, screw you, I didn't do anything.
I do want to
he
say
doubles down on everything.
Harvey's apology yesterday basically was, yeah, that's how it was when I was coming
That's
up.
not going to hold up.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
I read that and I'm like, so for your excuse for sexual harassment is, yeah, that's what we did. It's just
a thing. Everybody was doing
it.
It
It was
was
okay
a
back
big
then.
deal. I think there are. Let me ask you, if you had to work one day for on one project for somebody, but you're like, I hate that person, but it's gonna make my career. It's like. It's Sophie's choice, man. It really is.
It's that apple on the tree. It's the fruit.
Yeah, my question
The forbidden
is like,
fruit.
if that comes up with Harvey, I'm like, how many fingers? 2? Yeah, okay.
I could do 2.
Yeah, I could probably get away with it.
Okay.
I
2.
could probably get
2
away.
only.
I could probably get away with 2. 3,
We're
I
not
couldn't
gonna tell
forgive
everybody,
myself. No. Yeah. Rings or no rings? No rings?
Oh,
Okay, we're good. Yeah.
You keep your fingernails cut. Are we okay with that?
You're going to keep the Oscar on the shelf, right? Cool. 2 fingers, I'm good. 2 fingers.
A decade has passed since 3, but we are now finally closer than ever to Rush Hour 4. If anybody wants it.
Nope.
Anybody?
Who's in it?
It's Jackie Chan for sure. He is confirmed, but he said after 7 years of bad scripts, they finally got a good one just a few days ago, actually, and they're just waiting on Chris Tucker. So they want to start filming next year. Chris Tucker has said that he wants to do it. He doesn't want to do it. He wants to do it. It's all about scheduling right now.
So could Target not let him off?
Oh,
Stop
boy.
Stop that, Jess.
You know he's at Applebee's now.
Coming in hot.
He's had some money issues.
Has he had money
Yeah,
issues?
he's had some money issues.
Well, it's
I'm
not
a Chris
Rush
Tucker
Hour's
fan.
fault. They made a lot of money.
I think he was
with that.
making 20. But I have no desire to see it. However, I do want to see Jackie Chan, The Foreigner.
Oh, that looks amazing.
Doesn't that look amazing?
That's one where he's all olded up. Well, I mean, he's old now, but I mean, they make him look old, and his daughter dies, and it's basically Taken, but there is no daughter because she's dead, and he just wants revenge.
And he does his own. He's still doing his own.
He's like
stunts.
making homemade guns, and like, it looks awesome.
Yeah, we saw that. Trailer for that.
Those films altogether grossed just under $850 million.
Is that
and
it?
Chris Tucker blew through the money.
How much money do you think realistically you could blow through in a year, and still not like be like I'm buying the moon, but you're like I'm gonna buy a big house. I'm gonna get like how much money do you think realistically you could blow through in a year? Still keeping your job, not going on a trip, like realistically.
I'll buy a new house.
Yeah.
So I'll spend a couple mil on a house.
Yeah.
Fix it up nicely.
I would say like 10 mil.
Because
10 mil's a lot of
you
money.
buy a couple cars.
Yeah, but I would buy a couple houses. I would buy a couple very nice cars. I would
Do I
spend.
take a nice vacation?
No,
Yeah, well, you can take a vacation.
You can take a
You
vacation,
can't quit
not
your
just
job.
trips.
If I gave you 10 mil, you think you could get tax free? You think you could go through 10 mil easy?
Oh yeah.
Me too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What are you high? Yeah.
Sure am.
Yeah.
Let me show you my weed for it.
Best mode is touring. There's a lot of shrooms right there you're going to
Yeah.
be buying.
So which house are we going to? Well, I have a real house and I have one made of marijuana. It's like a gingerbread house.
It's a drug house. It's actually a house
actually-
made of drugs.
It's the coolest case of arson
Yeah.
you've ever
Just
heard of.
Take a right and look for the green
Don't
house.
spend a lot of time at the Percocet sink. You get stuck there for days.
Sink.
The Percocet sink.
You guys remember? Remember when Bobby Brown tried to sue the producers of that TV movie about his kid, Bobby Christina Brown?
Yes.
Trying to keep the movie from airing. Brown claimed that the movie was full of lies. There was nothing true, depicting scenes of him abusing Whitney, not loving on his daughter, that sort of thing. Producers countered by saying, well, guess what? All of this stuff just about is in your autobiography, every little step. Well, the Bobby Christina TV movie is supposed to air this weekend, and it will. The judge said, nope, sorry, you can't keep it from being aired.
Good. Nobody's going to watch it. So.
Yeah, man, it's on, that channel TV1.
Huh? No.
Exactly. That's what it's on. Don't worry about anybody
TV1
seeing
is what
it.
I call my TV in the living room.
That's
TV1?
That's TV1.
Yeah, pretty much.
Where are you watching the game? On TV1? Are you going to be in 2v2? Where are you going to be?
That's Sunday at 6 o'clock. And finally, we haven't talked about Puddle of Mud singer Wes Scanlon in a while.
Sure.
He's getting things done. Every time we talk about him, he's getting arrested or going to court or going to jail. He did a BOGO over the last couple of days in court. Ended one case with a plea deal and another with some jail time. Both of them in the same week. Pled in his 2016 vandalism case. He allegedly trashed a bunch of stuff on his home that was foreclosed in Hollywood Hills. Remember that? He got off Monday with 3 years probation, but he also got to pay $40,000 back in fees. Followed that up with a court date yesterday. He pled no contest in a case from last month where he was popped for trying to board a plane with a BB gun. Remember that one? He's getting 20 days in jail for that one.
You know what else?
He also has to stay away from LAX unless he's traveling internationally.
Puddle of Mud is his nickname in jail.
Oh, yikes.
There you go.
You were just waiting for me to get done
I
talking.
could
weren't
not
you?
wait. I'm like, when's he going to stop talking? When's he going to stop?
That's why you were saying wrap it up, right?
Crappy birthdays. Bella Thorne is 20. Bruno Mars, 32. Tom York from Radiohead, 49. Vladimir Putin is 65. Mellencamp, 66. And today's Burton birthday of the day, Chevy Chase, is 74. Today's porno birthday, being brought to you by Patricia's, where fun and fantasy meet, is Brie Olson. Today's birthday girl's seen more dingers than the
she's
Boston
famous.
Red Sox did last night when they played the Astros.
That was Charlie Sheen's chick.
The goddess, yeah.
She's got plenty of practice, too, in 502 fine films, including The
cute.
Apprentice, All Bikinis, No Weenies, Watch for the Back Attack,
Oh.
in a movie called Oh No, Please Don't Tickle Me There, Another film called Old Enough to Be Their Mother, and who could forget her unforgettable role in I Did That Once, and I Did Not Like It.
I think I just pulled up the one where she didn't like it.
That's probably it. Yep.
Right there?
Brie Olson is 31 years old today.
I can't remember the last time I heard the title of a porn and was like, I have to watch that. But I'm at least going to have to Google.
I may not buy it, but I'll rent it.
I need to see what the cover at least looks like.
Yeah, I think I found it.
Hey, go see Josh Wolf this weekend. He's got 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow, 1 show on Sunday over at Helium Comedy Club. Listen to his podcast. What else are we plugging?
Man, guys, thank you for having me. And listen, I'm telling you, call me anytime.
I will call you.
Call me anytime.
I'm gonna dial you up, Josh. I need a little Josh, a little Josh in my life.
If you need some maybe some tips, if he needs some tips on his hair and what not to do with it, I can help him out.
What not to do.
Yeah.
I love this guy. Anytime, seriously, anytime
Thank you,
you're
man.
in town.
Thank you.